This is the most unapologetically violent AAA shooter in years. It's loud, bloody and filled with testosterone. This is just about the campaign, no multiplayer. It took 13 years for the sequel to the best Warhammer game to come out. Was it worth the wait, and is it worth buying for the campaign alone? Firstly, let's get this out of the way. I'm not a Warhammer guy. I haven't got the time, the space or the money to be one. Everything I know about it seems cool as hell, and what I've played I've really enjoyed, like Bolt Gun and the original Space Marine. I have chosen LEGO as my stupidly expensive hobby and have to stick with that. What I am is a shooter fan, and this is a goddamn shooter. You play as Titus from the first game. Even though it took 13 years to come out, it acts like no time has passed at all. Following the events of the first game, Titus has cleared his name of heresy and is ready to rejoin the Ultramarines, to purge some bugs for the Emperor. This is all you need to know going into the game. It's great for newcomers or people who haven't played the original in years, like me. The game doesn't stop to explain the world, but there is enough context clues for you to get what's going on. You're fighting for the humans, being accused of heresy is bad, and the Ultramarines are dope. One of the best things about the campaigns is over-the-top serious tone. These are men acting like they're actually in a war. Brothers show respect to authority, even when they disagree. Nobody's cracking jokes or one-liners. Everyone is here to do business. It's such a nice change of pace compared to other modern games. The game mirrors the original story, which I thought would be a negative. I was going to say you fight one faction for most of the game, then it's revealed the Chaos people are involved. But I think that's the point. It mirrors the original, but Titus has learned from his mistakes this time around. He was accused of heresy by his own brother. You think this is going to happen here. He starts out the same way. He gets put in charge of a squad. The old leader Gadriel isn't happy about this, but still goes along without complaining. The group wants to know more about their new leader, but Titus tells them to be quiet. This gets resolved later when they have a quick heart-to-heart. Titus tells them about his past after Gadriel tries to kill him because he didn't trust him. This isn't a big emotional moment where they start crying. Titus says, I get why you did what you did. Gadriel apologises and they move on as brothers. It's not the most complex moment, but it works. It's a quiet character moment, which is great to see. It's men respecting each other without dragging it out. They got a job to do. All the characters are well defined. The story's first job is to make these guys look cool, and it succeeds immediately. It's guys in armours doing violent stuff with chainsaw weapons. The story itself is simple but has a lot of heart when it comes to the characters. It's also very similar in the gameplay department. Gears of War walks so Space Marine could run. The shooting is great, all guns are viable, they all hit hard and feel like they have an impact. There's a good variety: pistols, assault rifles, snipers, plasma guns, flamethrowers, and my favourite, which is a shotgun type that shoots out a flame pulse. It's rad. Then the melee comes in. You have a few different weapons like a knife, power sword, warhammer, and a chainsword. Chainsaw and a gun? Cool. Chainsaw and a sword? Still cool. These are great at killing little enemies and can be gory when they explode in blood when hit. They have a surprising amount of depth, each have their own quirks and combos you can do. Like the hammer can charge attacks to hit an area, or the sword has to be activated before you can swing. Where these weapons shine is in the combat against the swarm. Combat throws swarms of little enemies at you, backed up by bigger threats. These enemies should be your focus, as killing them will kill all the little guys around them. The big guys aren't so easy to kill. They will try to get in close. This is where you'll have to use stuff like parries. The timing on parries is generous and is accompanied by a big blue indicator. This can be triggered by little enemies as well. Titus will catch them with his chainsaw mid-air in a waterfall of blood. It's sick. Parry a big enemy and hit fire. Titus pulls off a gun-fu move for high damage. Always satisfying to pull off. Damage enemies enough you can perform executions to refill your armour. So it's always worth doing. It's also incredibly violent. I love them. Slow-mo kicks in, limbs get broke, skulls get crushed, and Titus screams in rage. They only last a few seconds. Doom removed glory kills because players got tired of them. Space Marine fixes that by having loads of unique kills. I have so much fun pulling them off, the sound design and animations are all on point. The combat remains engaging for the entire runtime. The flow from range to melee and back again is seamless. It works so well. The only real critiques I have of the combat are the grenades feel underwhelming and the lack of enemy variety. You fight two enemy factions, the Tyranids and the Heretics. About 75% of the campaign is the Tyranids. They're cool, there just isn't enough variety. It's the swarms and the big guys mostly. Sure, some of them are ranged and some are melee, but it's not a big enough difference. There's also a flying thing that buffs the rest of them, but that's it for common enemies. The Heretics also suffer from the same problem. Little guys, big guys want flying support. Warhammer has loads of factions. I would love to see more, maybe bring back the Orcs for a mission. There are a few bosses throughout and they're all good. They require you to learn their attack patterns to beat. Some do get repeated, which isn't ideal, but I'd rather have them than not. The actual missions are pretty good even if there aren't too many of them. There are a handful of set pieces like flying through space, or a bit where you hold up a banner, which is probably the best moment of the game. The missions are broken down to area style encounters where you have to kill everything, connected by linear paths. You can explore for audio logs or weapons, but there isn't too much to see. Every other room has a weapon drop and ammo resupply, so exploring isn't too important. You can also choose what weapons to bring into missions, which makes exploration feel even more pointless. There are more missions you can do outside of the campaign. Titus will send other Marines to do stuff in the story. You can actually play this in the multiplayer mode. You can try them solo, but they aren't scaled for single player, which is a shame. I do like the idea though. The best shake-up to missions are the jetpack sections. These are super fun. You get a jetpack where you can hover near and smash down on a group of enemies. They never last too long. It makes you wonder why you don't just keep the jetpacks permanently. The only pace killer for me is you have to keep returning to the ship after every mission. It just slows everything down. If I'm being perfectly honest, this game is just the first game again. There's nothing wrong with that, the first game was great. I just wonder if this game came out 2 years after the original and not 13, would people still be praising it as much? Where the 13 years makes a big difference is in the presentation. The game is stunning. Everything's so detailed, environments feel massive and are gorgeous. Every battle in the distance looks like Helm's Deep. You really do have to stop and take it all in from time to time. If you're a Warhammer fan, this must be incredible to see. One level has you in a city that is thousands of feet in the air, then you look up and see it goes on for even more. It's awesome. Gotta want to get into Warhammer. Ultimately, I had a fabulous time with Space Marines campaign. It's arguably a perfect sequel. It nails everything it set out to do. It feels old school in the best possible way. I just wish it was longer and there were more enemies. It's great for non-Warhammer fans to jump into as well. Time to rank it. I said this feels like Gears of War, so let's compare it to that. Did I enjoy this more? Honestly, I think I did. The story here is better than Gears 1, thanks to its heart. The combat is also way more satisfying, but I don't think it can go much higher, so where does it rank? The combat and story are not as good as Batman Arkham Shadow, so I can't put it above that. New number 6. Hopefully it's not heresy for it to be so low. It's loud, it's brutal, it doesn't apologise, and honestly, I hope more shooters copy it. For the Emperor!